It fell to me, I believe, to make these points because I got to a point where I realized that this country was angrily walking into what is perhaps a mistake. And these are my views. This is not Imani's views. When I sleep, I think about it. I look at what I look at. I read what I read.
Walking into a mistake that will be voting John Mahama back.
Yes. And I have a lot of personal respect for President John Mahama. He's one of the men who has served this country almost all his adult life. From local politician to deputy minister to vice president to president, and I believe an elderly and respectable statesman. In fact, in this write-up, I said, we are blessed as a country that we don't have to fight to determine who will lead us. But we have two fine gentlemen, President John Mahama and Vice President Bawumia, who we have to pick from. The other side of that is that we have been dealt that hand. We didn't have a choice in it. It was NDC and NPP. Of all the people in NDC, they picked John Mahama. It is their prerogative. And then MPP picks Bawumia. It is their prerogative. We, the people of Ghana, have been dealt this hand. You can like it or not. I think one of the two will be president. So we have to contend with the fact of who will it be. Sitting and reflecting on these choices. And Samson, somebody called me, and I've received a lot of calls. Somebody very senior called me and said, why are you doing this? I said, you know what? What is your problem with me doing this?
You're a bigger influencer.
Well, that's one of the problems. We'll come to that. But then I said, okay. He says he's angry that this has gone on, and I was so why? I said, okay, I know you are angry. I must be angrier than you. I was on the streets demonstrating. I must be angrier than you. I spoke. I was effective in mobilizing for this government to come into power. I must be angrier than you. I have been more critical of this government than you. Myself and my brothers in Imani, Prof. Bobkin, Theo, no one in this country has been more critical, whether a Japa or E-Levy, than anyone. We've taken personal risks. I must be angrier than you, and I'm angry.
So we give you that. So see, is that not the contradiction?
But that's the point. There are no brain cells in your heart. Your emotions can't think well. The thinking has to happen in your head. So regardless of my anger, and you've seen it in all my advocacy and what we've done, I had to reflect and say, I am angry, and that is pushing me to vote President John Mahama back into government. Then I look at the options, and I'm like, every measure you come up with against Vice President Bawumia, President Mahama also fails on it. He has been a president. He has been a vice president. And the track record is there. Whether it's corruption, whether it's transformational leadership, whatever it is. And when I looked at all of that, I came to the conclusion that we are better off picking Vice President Bawumia and giving him a chance. At the least, we should give him a fair hearing. Let us hear the man and listen to what he has for this country. Now, all of that together forced me to have to make that endorsement. Not to his person, but in the calculation that it is better for this country, even if we are going to make a mistake going forward. Because we have tried this other quantity, and we have had this.
We have tried John Mahama as president, but not try Bawumia as president.
Yes.
That is a key argument you make.
That's a key argument, and I'm saying that
you sit on boards and you sit on interview panels. You pick people for experience on a job.
Yes.
If President Mahama has been president, he ought to do better if he's given the opportunity than someone who is seeking that opportunity.
You don't pick people for the wrong experience, or you don't pick people whose experience showed that they could not do the job. In fact, that is the perfect rule you use to exclude them. We gave you the chance and you failed, so out. You pick people who have shown you a certain tendency to do well, and then you analyze them, which is what I did. I said, well, this vice president has been vice president and he has not been corrupt. That's a fact. Do you have any evidence of that? It is not for lack of opportunity.